You don't remember deciding to run. You remember the weight of stones you'd carried since before dawn. The overseer's voice, gone hoarse from shouting. The man beside you, who fell and didn't get up, and no one was allowed to stop and help him. Something in you had been quiet for a long time. It wasn't quiet anymore. You ran. Past the quarry's edge, past the dry riverbed no one was supposed to cross, into the open desert, because dying slowly out there was better than dying slowly in there, while they called it mercy. The city appears on the third morning, low on the horizon, like a smudge of charcoal. You don't trust it. Every laborer who's ever dreamed of escape has heard the stories. Cities the desert invents to lure the dying toward water that isn't really there. But you keep walking, because the only other option is to stop. The walls are pale sandstone, worn smooth by centuries of wind. The gates are open. No guards, no one watching from the towers. Just open gates, like the city forgot to close its mouth. You walk through. Inside, the street is narrow, the buildings leaning toward each other overhead. Lanterns burn even in daylight. A woman carries a clay jar on her shoulder, balanced without thinking. Two men play a tile game at the base of a wall. A boy chases something small through a gap between buildings, laughing. They look at you the way you'd look at someone you were expecting. Not surprised, just waiting. A man in a blue robe brings you water before you ask, then bread, then shade. He sits with you while you drink and says nothing, which might be the kindest thing anyone's done for you in longer than you can remember. At the far end of the street, a lean, sand-colored dog sits very still, watching you. When you look back at it again, it's gone. You ask him the name of this place. He tells you, but the word doesn't stick, like a language your mind has no hook for. You let it go. You're too thirsty to think about anything that isn't water. The city gives without being asked. Food appears when you're hungry. A room is offered to you by a woman who seems relieved the moment has finally come. The bed is narrow and clean, and you sleep without dreaming for the first time in longer than you can name. You wake. Something is different, though you can't say what yet. You eat. You walk. You let the city hold you. Something in your chest starts to loosen. You pass that same street again, and you stop. The woman with the jar is crossing at the far end, same crack along the rim. The two men are at their tile game, same piece, same hand. The boy is laughing at the exact same moment, at the exact same thing. And at the mouth of the alley, the sand-colored dog is sitting in the same spot it sat on your first day. It holds your gaze a beat too long, then it turns and disappears into the shadow. You don't sleep that night. You sit and you think, clearer now than you've thought in days, and you line it up. The jar, the tile game, the boys laugh, note for note. The way no one here was surprised to see you, like you'd arrived before. You remember a story, something about old desert ruins, places where time didn't pass so much as circulate, in a closed loop, going nowhere, losing nothing. You laughed when you first heard it. You're not laughing now. You're at the gates before sunrise. They're open, like always. The desert beyond is dark blue, cold, enormous. You put your hand on the wall and feel the warmth it's still holding from yesterday's sun. At the end of the street, the dog crosses the mouth of an alley again, in the hour before the loop resets. Like it's the one thing the city couldn't quite erase. Like it's in the loop, but not part of it. You don't know what the dog is, only that it watches you the way nothing else here does. You don't know how long this has been happening. You don't know if the people here suffer or simply don't remember enough to. You don't know if walking back through those gates leads you to the desert you left or somewhere else entirely. You only know what you've seen and what you're standing at the edge of deciding. The sky is starting to lighten as the east, not sunrise. Not yet. Somewhere out there are roads that go somewhere, even if somewhere isn't safe. And behind you is a city that will feed you and shelter you and ask you nothing, for as long as you are willing to let it carry you. So, what do? Do you walk out into the unknown, no looking back? Do you stay and start pulling at the threads, the dog, the loop, whatever's really going on here? The light is growing. You have until sunrise, maybe less. Maybe the loop is still turning without you. Maybe someone else walked through those gates this morning, thirsty and desperate, and the man in the blue robe is already pouring water. Or maybe the desert does that. Makes you see what you need to see, before it decides whether to let you through. Maybe you never made it out at all. We don't know what the city was. Was it even real? Was it cursed? Were the people ghosts? Was the dog even a dog at all? We don't know if the choice you made was the right one. When certainty disappears, all that's left is the person making the choice.